Have you ever walked past an old pub, glanced at the sign and thought, this place has seen things? It's poured drinks for generations, echoed with laughter and stood the test of time until it didn't. Today, we are talking about the last Tudor style pub going off. The Scotch pub in Ipoh Garden South is closing, and with it, another piece of the city's pub culture fades away. I remember when the Miners' Arms stood proudly in the Old Town area, when pubs weren't just another stop on a weekend crawl, but places that carried history, character, and a sense of belonging. So where have all the old pubs gone? Youngsters these days, fickle, aren't they? A new pub, disco, or restaurant opens and suddenly it's the best place ever. A few weeks later, something shinier pops up and the crowd moves on, leaving the old hotspots to fade into memory. So let's start at the obvious place, Ipoh's railway station. Here there used to be a cozy little bar, simply known as the Station Bar, tucked away on the ground floor of the station hotel. It was the perfect place for visitors to relax while waiting for the train. A quiet refuge where travelers could sip a cold drink, alcoholic or not, before continuing their journey. But it closed a few years ago, leaving our Taj Mahal without a proper place for travelers to rest and soak in the historic charm of the station.
Ipoh has seen this cycle for years. The city's landscape is constantly changing, but some places like hawker stalls and coffee shops seem to last forever. Why? Simple. They offer great food, traditional recipes, and prices that don't make your wallet cry. They attract generations of loyal customers, from elderly regulars to school holidays, tourists from all over Malaysia. But what about those who enjoy a good drink? The Chinese uncles who love their Guinness, and the Indians and Punjabis who appreciate a fine whisky. What do they have left? Pubs don't get the same loyalty. The old ones close and the new ones pop up, taking their place, and with every change, we lose another place of history.
This is the cycle today. The old will always be replaced by the new. It's inevitable. But the real question is, what do we lose in the process? What happens when places that once defined a city's social scene disappear? Now think about it. Walk into any cafes today and you'll see youngsters snapping pictures of their lattes, carefully angling their shots for Instagram. It's about aesthetics, about what looks good online, compared to the old pubs where conversations flowed freely, where regular customers knew each other by name, and where the only thing that mattered was the company, not the presentation. That's the shift. The younger generation prefer cafes over pubs. They want artisanal coffee, not a cold stout. They'd rather be in a well-lit, minimalist space with indie music playing in the background than in a dimly lit pub with classic rock on the speakers. And that's fine. It's their time now. But for the older crowd, the ones who remember when Scotch pub or the Miners' Arms were the places to be, there is a sense of loss. Because these places weren't just businesses, they were institutions. They were where friendships were built, where deals were made, where laughter echoed through the night over a round of drinks. And once they're gone, they don't come back. Maybe that's just how things go. But maybe, just maybe, some things are worth holding on to. The truth is, Ipoh doesn't have many true heritage pubs left. The legendary FMS, once the oldest pub in Malaysia, got a modern facelift. Sure, it's still there, but it's not the same as before. The others, gone. So what's left? There's still the Sinhalese Bar in Old Town, the last of the heritage pubs frozen in time since 1931. Step inside and it's like stepping into a time capsule. The furniture, the atmosphere, even the people, it's all a reminiscence of an Ipoh that's slowly disappearing. So Sinhalese Bar is among Malaysia's oldest surviving bars at the intersection of Jalan Market and Jalan Bijih Timah. Its wooden swing doors, bright pink walls and vintage posters tell the story of a time when bars weren't about flashing neon lights or Instagrammable cocktails. The Sinhalese Bar is one of the only pubs with a western feel. As you walk in, you will see the pink striking walls and a feeling that has stuck in Ipoh since 1931. So unlike today's bars, there's no elaborate menu here, just a simple selection of whiskies, brandies, sherries and rums, served as they've always been. It's not a place for heavy meals, but rather a place where people gather, talk and sip on a strong drink while watching the world go by. At the heart of it all is Alfred Pereira, the bartender and owner. He was born and raised above the bar, inheriting it from his father. He's seen Ipoh change before his eyes. Gravel roads turned into highways, colonial buildings torn down for modern structures, and the slow disappearance of old world charm. For decades, Sinhalese Bar was where Ipoh's professionals, lawyers, planters, and doctors would gather for a drink after work. Today, it's mostly families, friends, and a handful of loyal regulars keeping the place alive. So, what will happen to the bar when Alfred is gone? Let's ask Alfred himself.
I don't have any son, only a daughter. She's in KL, she's married and settled down there. Most probably, my wife, after me, my wife will take over. So now I'm depending on my wife and my daughter. Whether they will take over or what, I don't know.
Ipoh's pub culture is fading, being replaced by neon-lit lounges and overpriced cocktails. And then there was the Scotch pub. It was not quite a heritage, but it stood for years, offering drinks and food in a city that was running out of true pubs. But now it too is closing its doors. So what's left? A bunch of flashy new cafés designed for the younger crowd, blasting music so loud you can't hear yourself think. Cocktails with fancy names, overpriced craft beers, and the interiors that change every time a new trend hits. I don't know about you, but I think I'll stick with the old one that brings back good memories of the TV sitcom Cheers.
Okay, 我係 Connie，呢個係我同事阿偉，我喺呢度做咗45年，依家我呢間鋪頭要結束啦，到呢個月28號，好多回憶，甜鮮苦辣乜都有，當然甜多過其他啦，所以可以做得到咁耐。
So, as we remember the social establishments of the past, let's not forget the hotels, restaurants, and cafes that once offered a cold beer with a side of nostalgia. Places like the Olympic Inn, the Golden Jubilee Nightclub, the Green Fern, Cafe Nico, and the Chicago Coffeehouse were all part of Ipoh's vibrant social scene in the 60s and the 70s. Throughout the years, more iconic spots joined the list. Who remembers the Birds in Ipoh Garden South, Palm Grove at the Casuarina Hotel, or Excelsior Club at the Excelsior Hotel? There was also Eastern Hotel's Rendezvous Coffeehouse, Ritz Garden Hotel's Rooftop Coffeehouse, and Stable Pub in Ipoh Garden South. And of course, there was Sid's Tavern, a favorite place for many. These were the places where friendships were made, stories were exchanged, and laughter filled the air. So, where do we go from here? Are heritage pubs and cafes a thing of the past? Are we moving too fast, forgetting the places that once made our cities feel like home? Let me know your thoughts. And if you've got a favorite old pub story, share it with us. Because once these places are gone, all we'll have left are the stories we tell to the next generation.